What's up, guys? Doing a new video. This one comparing the Super Robot Chogokin Deka Robo to Power Rangers SPD Retrofire's Delta Squad Megazord. As you can see, I have them both out of the box right in front with the two speed effects, I think they're called, that came with the Super Robot Chogokin. First, containers. Alright, as you can see, it's an SPD. It's just a cylindrical case that it holds it in. There's the Delta Squad Megazord. Little collector's edition description about the series. Emblem up on top. You see it's part when Samurai was first released. Now the second box is a lot better in my opinion. For the DekaRanger Robo, you see a picture of him on the front. On the side, there's another view of him. On the back, some poses for him, as well as parts you can use for the Gokyo, the spare red runner, his hand articulation, and the special effects for the gun. Japanese writing, I cannot read that. Bottom, him having his thumb up, and again the same thing on the top. Alright, that's the first part. Next part, I'll show you the accessories. Alright, next part, the accessories. First, for the Retrofire, just the gun, nothing else. Then here comes all the fun parts for the Dekarobo. Multiple hands, the cuffs, the additional part for Dekarobo, however you pronounce it, blasters, the sword, then his blaster, and when the sword is is withdrawn, the part that goes on Dekarobo, the Deka's Mech 4. As you can tell, big size difference between the two. Alright, now onto the figures themselves. As you can see, the differences between the two directly versus the size. The Dekarobo is a little bit taller than the SPD Retrofire. A lot of paint apps are missing for the Delta Squad Megazord. It's right down here on the feet. Some around here where the thighs would be, a little bit on the Zord's white. Excuse me there. Some on the side. You see a big three right there. It's not painted. And they actually did the great job of including the lines for where they would actually keep the part for the sword and the blaster and the DekaRanger Robo. Usually be held in there a certain way, but unfortunately you cannot push it out. See here, lights. What would be the lights on the Dekarobo are actually a translucent red. You can see through it. While on the SPD Megazord, it's just a paint color red. Articulations for Dekarobo are far better. You can see right there on the knee and hip. Ankle. You can actually pull the ankle down a little bit on both swords. It extends down. I just realized this when I was playing through a few minutes ago. Torso. You can actually turn it all over the place. And slightly above here you have a little hinge right where the upper abdomen would be. Shoulder. Ball and socket seems like. As well as an hinge inside the shoulder to allow it to come out with the wheel. Elbow. As well as it can turn. above the elbow. As well as on the Zord number 5, they have you keep the Deka Squad license plate on the pink Zord rotating. And then you stop it for on the yellow Zord. Give me 1 second. You have the handle for the sword. You can actually slide in and out of here on the DekaZord 4. Remember which way it goes. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Actually slide it in and out of there. So yeah, the other arm's the same thing, as well as, I did not mention this, but the hands are interchangeable. As you saw, the accessory part, it's an open wrist. Then with the head, it's 360 and rotates a little bit side to side, and it's on a ball and socket, it feels like. That is a Dekarobo. View from the back. Now on to the SPD Megazord. This guy is no longer in make right now with Bandai America. He was the first release of the Retrofiles during the Samurai release last year. Articulations. The only part that is actually better with the Dekarobo SPD Megazord than the Dekarobo that I've seen so far is this. You can actually get him down to one knee and do like a firing pose with his weapon. That's the only pose I've seen better comparing the two. Alright, articulations, ankles, just a hinge, knee, again hinge, hip is on a ball and socket, so you can move it around barely, shoulder, just a rotator, left arm, just up at the shoulder, you can rotate it, and a little hinge joint. The wrist is 360. Other arm, there is a hinge at the elbow, and again the hand's 360, and everything for the shoulder. Rotator, excuse me, a rotator for the shoulder. The shoulder pads are removable on this guy, so you can, if you want to do more articulation with them, you can take those out. The symbol does not move on the SPD Blue Zord, as well as missing a lot of the pink. The back side is completely blank. The helmet, slight up and down, slight ball and socket, but mainly just rotating 360. And as you can see, there's the backs right there. Not much to it. Alright. On the next. Alright, for the last part here, I'll just give you my overall thoughts of the Zords and the mech, as well as a new little addition I got from my collection about 2 or 3 days ago, is the Gokyo from DekaRanger. Haven't really played with me. I just basically took the parts from the spare red SPD Zord that you got with the Dekarobo. Sorry if I called SPD Zord. Used to doing that because of Power Rangers SPD. But anyway, I took them apart, the Zord apart like you can, and I attached his body parts. The 4 little things that you saw that are by itself go up on the top. The 2 side parts go on the bottom. And the front part of the mech goes right here in the chest. The other parts are not used. And alright, that's just my thought. I just throw it in there just for the fun of it. What it looks like when you combined Gokyo with that spare red Dekazord. There you go, the proper name, at least I think. Now back to finishing up my thoughts on these two. One thing I missed before when I was doing the review is that actually this right here, where the green SPD Zord is, this part can come out, where it's supposed to hold the blaster, but due to the blaster size, it cannot fit in there. At least I don't think it's supposed to be going there a certain position. I wish I actually were able to do that for the Deka blaster there. I'll be able to stay in there just to hold it there so you can do an expression like it's going to pick it out. But anyway, between the two, if you have the money and the time, I say get the Dekarobo. It's a far better quality, far better looking figure. But if you don't have the money, you won't have it anytime soon. You can find it. Get the SPD Megazord. Between the two cases, I'll say I like the Super Robot Chogokin better for the Dekarobo, just because it's more designed to it than anything. Looks a lot better. You actually see some poses on the back. But I do like the SPD, the Retrofire case as well, just because you actually see what's inside of it. And in some cases with Bandai, they sometimes do them as paint apps. So if you have several of them there, you can compare which one looks the best. Alright. That's your original Ranger fan, aka Buster Sword 275. Just with my brief comparison between the Dekarobo, Super Robot Chogokin, and the SPD Retrofire Series Delta Squad Megazord. Later.